Harry's Wife, Part 102.65, Markled, Chrissy, Teigen. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. In an earlier video, Markled, Spotify starts shedding, I explained the origins and various definitions of what it is to be markled. Now it would appear that the same has happened to Chrissy Teigen. If you don't know why I call her Chrissy Teigen, then I invite you to go back and listen to my entertaining and enlightening series of videos about Chrissy Teigen. But for now, we're going to the publication NetflixJunkie.com with an article by Prithvi Shah, which tells us, throwback to Chrissy Teigen planning a perfect getaway with Harry's wife. Well, what fresh madness is this? Narcs colliding? Old satellite dish face coming at you with she of the bronzer? Let's dive in and find out what's really going on. The article tells us, no matter how many times Harry's wife has subjected herself, interesting phraseology, to some controversy or other, people would still agree on one thing. She has always been a kind soul. No, Prithvi Shah, most people will not agree with that. Trevor Engelson won't. Corey the chef won't agree with that. The manicurist on the Reitman shoot won't agree with that. The director of the Reitman shoot won't agree with that. Her former agent in London wouldn't agree with that. Various members of Sunshine Sax's personnel wouldn't agree with that. Samantha Cohen wouldn't agree with that. Various members of the royal family would not agree with that. Former school friends would not agree with that. Papa Markle would not agree with that. Thomas Markle Jr. would not agree with that. Samantha Markle would not agree with that. Various staffers at Buckingham Palace would not agree with that. Need I go on? I could. So to suggest that people would still agree on one thing, her being a kind soul, is errant nonsense, and had helped anyone and everyone she can in whatever way possible. Are you deluded? One such personality who bonded with the former American actor because of her beautiful soul, fuck me, is John Legend's wife and model, Chrissy Teigen. Although COVID-19 undeniably took away many of our loved ones, the hard times also brought some people together, igniting new friendships. Yes, that's the vacuous nature of this article, that it deals with a worldwide pandemic in the same breath as bringing together two vacuous narcissists. Old Moonface and she of extensive work. Chrissy Teigen and Harry's wife's friendship also started on such a note. In a 2021 interview with ET Online, oh, if only they'd go home, Teigen spoke about her bond with Harry's wife, about her plans to hang out with the Duchess of Sussex. How absolutely fascinating. Notably, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were co-chairs for Vax Live, remember, Fridge by Valentino, the concert to reunite the world. How's that going? Although Harry's wife, pregnant with their second child, was not present at the event, Teigen talked about her plans with Harry's wife. The model feels that the world has become smaller since the pandemic and that we have to go to Monty Shit Show and chill in the chicken house, Archie's Clucking Hut. Notably, Archie's Chick-In is the name of the area of the house where the infamous Oprah Winfrey interview took place. Just a month before the live event, the mother of two shared how she connected with Harry's wife over lost pregnancies. Teigen lost her son, Jack, after being pregnant with him for almost 20 weeks, while Harry's wife had a miscarriage just a summer before. As I've explained before, the sadness of a miscarriage is a private matter and isn't there for public consumption. Yes, in the appropriate arena, you may well be invited to talk about and your experiences to share with other people, but this wasn't the case with either Teigen or Harry's wife. Teigen splashed it all over her Instagram. showing no regard for the emotions of her husband, having no due regard for those that were subjected to it, and of course, thinking that she was doing a good thing, but plastering it everywhere, triangulating people with her apparent grief. Harry's wife has long been accused of having a miscarriage, whereby it didn't actually happen, and she just did it for the purposes of trying to elicit sympathy. According to the model, the article continues, Harry's wife would write to her about the loss of her son, and has always been extremely kind to her. She also appreciated the couple for co-chairing the event and thanked the frontliners for making it all possible. Let us hope both women had a great time hanging out with each other. What are your thoughts about Teigen's remarks about Harry's wife? Do let us know in the comment section below. Well, let's go down to the comment section, see what everybody has to say. Oh, funnily enough, it's completely empty. And that's hardly a surprise, is it? That here we are, another instance of bringing up the past for not one, but two narcissists. Two different types of narcissists, two different subschools here. But the suggestion that they would get together. And this was mentioned over a year ago. But as far as I'm aware, other than the appearance at the COVID drive, the rally, they haven't met up since. So it would appear that Chrissy Teigen finds herself markled. No connection maintained there whatsoever. Clearly not deemed good enough for the Duchess of Industrial Beige. Instead, of course, this article is utilised for the management of the facade for Harry's wife, about her being a kind soul that everybody would like to connect with, that people think that she's a delightful and kind individual. Chrissy Teigen, of course, also similarly wants to ensure that everybody responds to her. But we have exposed her behaviours in parts passing of the series about her, demonstrating very clearly her narcissist credentials. This article is flimsy, it's transparent, and it's complete bollocks. All it's simply doing is bringing together two narcissists to utilise a personal tragedy as currency for the purposes of the pursuit of the prime aims. As you know, the narcissist has no sense of guilt, remorse, shame, or embarrassment about using such things as the death of a child for the purposes of leverage. Neither of them, of course, has insight enough to recognise that that is what they are doing, and if you were to put it to them, both would roundly deny it. The first line, the twin lines of the narcissistic defence, is being utilised to nullify the threat to control posed to them by suggesting you are, in effect, making currency out of a tragedy for the pursuit of your own fame, i.e. asserting control and drawing fuel. They would deny it. But that is what has happened. And here, although they have that similarity in that respect, they don't in other aspects of the way that their narcissism functions. But this article serves a purpose. It is there to make it seem like the two get on, thus causing reaction to that in terms of assertion of control and drawing fuel, and at the meantime demonstrates just how vacuous and meaningless they actually are. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.